Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been better. Gotta keep on chugging. Ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy. Got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that. It's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it an FT to get them when they're hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come unless you paying attention. So no, I can't miss that. Moving. MVP, I got the record. I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming. Had to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans. Partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice. I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my big dog walking big talk. Young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship. I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in. They gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain. The cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend. Not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element. Yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it. Yeah. I've been married to this hustle. This is my ring. Watch out, step in it. Yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch out, touchdown. Pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed. The cut down is for us now. Have to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans. Partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice. I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my. Yeah.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted, and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Talked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no, you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right, cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now. They all on me, got counterfeits trying to play me. I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price, cause without it, the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing you. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat. I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie. You don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. You gon' see the...
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, we got our drop down to that key level we were looking at last week, sitting at about $90,800, kind of all the way down to about $89,909. I want to talk about that drop that we just saw with that quick bounce back to the upside. We are long in the premium Discord, guys. I want to talk about that long position, where I'm expecting it to come up to. Are we about to see that rip up to 80K? I saw somebody drop 80K in the chat. Guys, what's this poll? Let's see what's Tony doing with these polls. Will Bitcoin ever leave the macro range? Shout out to Tony D, guys. Are we about to see that bigger breakout, or are we just simply getting that lackluster bounce, another lackluster bounce for another continuation to the downside? Now, we do have some money flow coming out on some key time frames on Market Cypher B. I want to go over this with you guys, show you where I'm expecting this bounce to come in at as we are tapping a local key level of resistance. Are we going to be able to break above it to get that push into our next level, which is going to be sitting closer to $97,000? I'm going to break it all down for you tonight on the Frankie Candles live stream. There we go. Shout out to Jesse. The 80K value very low. Yeah, and we'll talk about the bearish case as well, guys. Are we going to see that $80,000 Bitcoin? Hopefully not. Hopefully not, guys, because once we get down to 80K, we are starting to run out of support. And although that wouldn't necessarily mean bear market, it does get a little dicey. We have that low volume gap just below about $85,000. We're going to break it all down on tonight's live stream. Smash that like button, Mafia. If you have not smashed it already, smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto. And maybe if we hit 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, it's been a while since we've hit 1K likes. But if we do hit it, we'll add $1,000. We'll add $150 of Solana to Friday's giveaway. I don't think we gave away any Solana. We only gave away Cardano on last Friday's live stream. But if we hit these like goals this week, hopefully we can get some moves on Bitcoin, get some more people in here to smash that like button so we can give away a ton of Solana. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Tyler Durden, said free crypto. Shout out to Tyler Durden. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. Guys, shout out our mods in the chat. Show them some love. They help us out endlessly with this YouTube channel. We appreciate them, and I hope you guys do as well. So show them some love in the chat. Tyler said, nope, no soul. No soul. In like a year. Shout out to Tyler. We got Nirvana in the chat. What is going on? We got Lunar Beaches. Good to see you in here, Lunar Beaches. Welcome in. We got Andrew in the chat. Said, I need my paycheck. Now I need to buy. I need to buy. Shout out to Andrew. This drop is not scaring Andrew. Shout out to you, man. Let's see. We got Darren Does Things in the chat. Darren Does Things says, Tyler, when raise? Where's Tyler Durden? Give Tyler Durden a raise. Where's he at? Is he going to pop in the chat magically? Let's see. Give Tyler Durden a raise. Are you in the chat? Let's see. But shout out to Jay Violet. Welcome in. We got Aziz in the chat. Tony D checking in. What is going on, Tony? We got Melissa Retro. Let's see. Hi, my name is. Shout out to you, bro. Said, I bought the rip and sold the dip. Shout out to Hi, my name is. Hopefully, this live stream will give you a little bit of education on how to avoid buying the rips and selling the dips. Shout out to you, bro. But let's see. We got Nick Dunn in the chat. Said he was rocking his Frankie Candles hat. By the way, if you guys want these, they are on FrankieCandlesTrading.com. Check it out. We got a bunch of different colors for you. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Richardson 112s, which is the brand of hat, which, by the way, guys, is the Louis Vuitton of hat. A lot of people won't tell you that. But, yeah, we got the highest quality hats in the game. And they're affordable, too. They're not crazy priced. But, yeah, with all that being said, let's see. Let's light this candle. Shout out to, is that Zero Chris? Shout out to you, bro. He said light that candle. I agree with you, bro. So without further ado, shout out to K Diggity. Phoebe says hi, K Diggity. Shout out to you, man. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump onto this dang chart and see if we can predict Bitcoin's next move. We're going to break down all the key levels and talk about the next upcoming trades. Let's jump into it. All right, so here we are on the Bitcoin chart, guys. Now, as you know, all the way back, eons ago, on Friday, we were looking at some very key levels on the chart here. I'm going to hide these dailies real quick. I'm going to pull up that macro range that we have here on Bitcoin between, sitting here between the value area low at 90,000, starting at about 90,500, up to the value area high sitting at about 100,000, almost $101,000. This is our macro range, guys, and as you know, last week, as we were looking at Bitcoin kind of wiggling around right above this value area low, we knew that there was a possibility that we were going to see that full rotation of our value area, and shout out to anybody out there trading these value areas, guys. Dang, these things are good. Dang, these things are good, guys. But as you know, we got that rip up to $102,000, which was a deviation above our high. I'm kind of sick of talking about this at this point, but we have finally gotten that full rotation. We got the failed auction above the high into that macro golden pocket, which was a high likelihood area to put in that lower high before continuing our downtrend. And just to show that it is pulled from the high here, the all-time high, all the way down, was all the way down to our current low here, gave us that $102,000 golden pocket. And if we were going to come up and put in a macro lower high, this was the first high probability area to put in that lower high to then continue our downtrend, breaking structure to the downside. And this was one of the things that we were looking at, other than the fact that, we've been looking at this value area low, since we came down here, ever since we came down here, we front ran it slightly. We got that run back into the value area high, deviation back into the range. Once you get below that value area high, you're expecting price to get down into that POC. And once you lose that POC, you're looking to start your journey, keyword journey, to the value area low. We got that drop down, front ran it slightly, kind of bing-bonged around here, but just like you would expect based off the volume profiles, we did get that drop down into our key level of support. Now, we did have some local levels here as well. I'm actually going to hide these purple boxes. We're going to talk about those in just a minute. Those are key levels of support right there. But if we hide that main range, you guys know we had this local value area. The last long position we took yesterday. Last week, we were looking to get a move below that value area for an undervalued asset, looking to ride that back into the POC, which was take profit 1, and then we wound up just breaking down here. We tapped that POC 1 last time, and we got that rejection out of this this value area. And that is where, once we wound up losing this value area, this is what we were talking about, turn off that local range and turn on the macro value area, looking for that next key long zone sitting down here between about $90,800 and $89,909, where we have that daily horizontal level sitting right here in all of its glory. I believe is that 89,909? Yeah, 89,909 at that daily level. This is where we were looking for longs in the premium Discord, specifically, I think I have it pulled up here, specifically waiting to get a drop down here, and we've been looking at this level for quite some time, guys. If we don't get the bullish confirmations, if we don't tap that key level, we don't take the trade, right? But we were waiting for this level to come in, looking for lower lows on our price action with a potential swing failure pattern, as we knew that we had a lot of liquidity sitting below this range low. And what happened earlier today? We got that drop down into our key zone, and this just goes to show, guys, sometimes you have to have some patience in the market. You know, obviously there were other long opportunities here, but waiting for that actual key level to get tapped, not only did we get some low time frame. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about why this might not be the most beautiful bounce. This is nice to see, especially for the little day trade that we took today, but in the grand scheme of things, guys, we're going to take a look at some of those higher time frames. Sure, this is a key level. If we're going to put in a bottom, this is like our first major level that we would hope we could put it in at. But Market Cypher B, not necessarily putting in super bullish patterns on the medium to higher time frames, and we'll break it down. There's some mixed signals amongst different indicators, and I'm going to break them down for you guys. But what happened? We got that move down to the value area low. This is where most people are panicking. Oh my God, we're going to zero. I'm shorting this thing, but we do not short into support. Instead, we simply get bullish as we come into those key levels. Everyone else is scared, and what happened, right? We come down to the lower time frames. We actually did wind up putting in some lower lows on our price action with higher lows on our momentum waves here on the 15-minute, giving us that bullish divergence as well as a swing failure pattern below this major wick that we had sitting down here. Let me pull it up on the 1 hour time frame. And we did look at this on the live stream, guys. Obviously not, given the exact trade setups or the confirmations we were looking for, but we knew this big wick probably had some liquidity sitting below, as in general, oftentimes there is liquidity sitting below the value area low. And what happened, I'm not going to pull up the liquidation heat maps. It was visible on the liquidation heat maps, but I'm not going to try to load them up right now. But we got that 15-minute bullish divergence as well as some other key time frames. On top of a 30-minute, a 1 hour, and I believe a 15-minute swing failure pattern, right? So we got that wick down below, came back above that SFP level, which was sitting here at about 90,300. We closed that candle above that SFP level, giving us that swing failure pattern or that liquidity sweep before getting that pop to the upside, a little correction, and then that continuation up to higher prices. So absolutely nice to see here, guys. Let me see if I can pull this up. There is that long position. I showed this in the market update earlier today. Up now, it was up at like $600 or $700 during that market update. I've taken a little bit off the table here, but we're still holding this up $1,300 in profit right now. So not too shabby, about $1,600, $1,650. Not too shabby. Not a bad way to start off the week here. Now this is over on Femex, guys. If you want to sign up for Femex, you can check the link in the description down below and trade next to the CandleMafia and your boy Frankie Candles. You guys can check him out in the link in the description. But we are holding that position here, guys. And it is all about just sitting on your hands, setting those traps in the market. When it comes to trading, guys, it is a game of trapping, not a game of hunting. You want to wait for those key levels to get hit, wait for those confirmations, and then only when you see those confirmations do you pull the trigger. Now, the question I know everybody has right now is, well, Frankie, do you think that we're going to get that to play out all the way up to this macro value area high, sitting at about $100,000 and some change? And this is... Let's talk about it. Right? So I think everybody kind of gets the context here, right? Again, not getting bearish at macro lows here, and we are getting a nice bounce. The liquidity grab was pretty sweet to see. However, let's talk about this on the medium time frames, right? So this is nice on the lower time frames with the 50-minute bull dip, the swing failure pattern. And right now, guys, I will say we are printing our 4-hour green dot. This is something we were looking at in the premium Discord for a potential continuation to the upside, getting that green dot to print, coming on down to that 15-minute money flow, and looking for that money flow to cross over into the green here. Let me hide the object tree. And we were hoping that we can get this 15-minute money flow crossover into the green. So if we are going to see this long position continue to pay us out here and potentially give us a move into our next major target, keyword major target, because there are some local resistances I'm watching. I'm going to show you guys the exact levels I'm looking at. But if we can get this 15-minute money flow to scoot into the green here, get that green dot to print here, this would indicate that the trend, at least in terms of the 15-minute time frame, will continue to the upside. Maybe we get a little pullback, a higher low, a continuation to the upside, putting in higher highs and higher lows. And again, that 15-minute money flow, this big green wave coming in here, will be the thing that I am looking at for that to be the case. Now, at this point, guys, Here's the thing. When we come up to like the medium time frames, we're looking at the 1 hour time frame here. Something I don't love about this is really what I would like to see here is like more significant bullish divergences, right? Like a 15-minute bull div is nice for, again, like a little day trade, a little scout to the upside. And again, no one's going to complain about making $1,000 in a day. But, I will just say this. 15-minute bull div's nice. A money flow coming to the green, 4-hour green dot printing. This is somewhat nice to see for that continuation to the upside, but we don't really have any significant bullish divergences here on the medium time frame, and there is a bit of a caveat here, guys. There is a little bit of a caveat because we don't have the one hour bullish divergence. It's just like not here, right? It's nowhere to be seen. And I will say, oftentimes when we look to front run the what market cipher B is going to do, I will say this 1 hour time frame with this large oversold anchor wave here with the VWAP rolling to the downside. It could be possible. It could be possible that we come down and put in one more lower low, right, to put in more of a bullish divergences on more significant time frames, such as the 1 hour. And another thing we were looking at was the 4 hour, right? Like when we're looking for like really nice bottoms to come in, oftentimes what I like to see are 4 hour bullish divergences, lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. But as you guys can see here, we do not have higher lows here, right? This is technically a lower low on our momentum waves, which is very much not a bullish divergence. And, just to add a little bit of insult to injury there, we do have our money flow crossing over into the red. And on a time frame like the 4 hour, right, we would anticipate that money flow being in the red to continue our overall trend to the downside, right, in the context of the 4 hour. And you might be saying to yourself, well, Frankie, what about that 15-minute money flow? Well, the 15-minute money flow is going to be in the context of the 15-minute, right? The 4 hour, as far as time frames goes, is always going to trump the 15-minute, right? So again, even if we saw a local continuation to the upside, I will say for like a longer term move to the upside, potentially targeting our macro value area high, which technically is coming in at about $100,800. If we were going to see this full fill of this volume profile, which again, as we talk about many times, is likely to see deviation above the high, back into the range, next likely place for price to go, POC, can't get back above the POC, you're going to be looking for that full fill of that volume profile from the value area high to the value area low. And we're going to be viewing this pretty much the same way on the way to the upside, right? In this case, again, could we see the fulfill of this volume profile? Based off the volume profile theory, you would expect that. However, I would have really loved to see higher time frame bullish divergences, and we don't have that on market cipher B. And again, that added insult to injury here with the money flow crossing over into the red. Now, the caveat here is we did actually get bullish divergences on other indicators such as Lux Algo. This was another thing we were looking at in the premium Discord. And, we do have bullish divergences here. But with Lux Algo, the oscillator is a little bit more reactive to price. Now, this doesn't mean that this bullish divergence is to be ignored or anything like that, but it could potentially, I was showing this example from all the way back, where was that last 4 hour bull div that we had? Let me just readjust this. Where is it? Bada boom, bada bing. Where the heck did it go? Like right over here, right? You see that bullish divergence forming here on Lux Algo. And again, this doesn't mean that the bull divs on Lux Algo are less high probability or anything like that. It just reacts a little bit quicker to price. And you see that 4 hour bull div does come in, right? You do get a move to the upside. However, you kind of just, you do just come in, put in a lower high, and continue your trend to the downside. And the reason why I am being a little bit careful for something like this to play out is because you have to ask yourself, is there a reason to potentially expect a lackluster push to the upside and then a lower high and a continuation to the downside? And when you come on a market cipher B and you look at the money flow on the 4 hour, you would say, well, hey, you don't have the 4 hour bull div, which would be a sign of a strong bottom, right? And if money flow is coming into the red, this is going to make us have these goggles where we're looking at price action through the lens of looking for lackluster retracements to the upside before putting in lower highs and continuing to the downside, continuing that bearish trend, breaking structure to the downside, which could potentially put us in that more bearish scenario where we see those much lower targets come in, which I will go over in a second. We've covered them a million times on the show. Shout out to Mrs. Candles coming in looking a little melancholy. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Let's see that hand, Mrs. Candles. We're pumping. Can you get us to the POC at 97,345? All right, guys. Not only does the hand smell good, it tastes good. And that could be bullish for Bitcoin. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Drop those Mrs. Candles hands in the chat. If you got those emojis, drop them in the chat right now. Shout out to Ash. Said, yo, fam, what's good? Frankie, we buying the dip. Let's go. Shout out to Ash. But yeah, Mrs. Candles is pissed now. Sorry, Mrs. Candles. I just had to get that quick little lick in there. I don't know. We did get a letter from YouTube that said, stop licking Mrs. Candles' hands. There's those hands in the chat. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. But guys, very simply put, when we look for this, the question is, right, like we have a couple options here, right? Like typical technical analysis, we could go up and we could go down. Now, I'm going to show you the exact kind of situation I'm looking for right now. So like I said, bouncing from the low with the SFP. Again, I would have loved bullish divergences on the 4-hour on market site for B here with money flow coming up, which we don't have. So that's why I'm being a little bit careful here. And I am still keeping an open mind to a potential continuation to the downside. But at this point, now we can say as long as we stay above this value area low, technically the doorway to the POC and potentially the value area high is open. And I'm going to talk about the key levels we have to break to the upside in order to get new all-time highs, which again, I think is a little too soon to look at that, but we'll go over it very briefly. But I will just say this, guys, very simply put, that's kind of the long-term scenario, right? If I were to draw out this long position, right, you're long from the bottom, right, at the value area low, which is, again, not where you're looking for shorts. You're going to be looking for longs on the bounces from the value area low / deviations below the value area low. We practice what we preach over here, right? We're not just saying, hey, long support, short resistance, right? We deviate below. We actually do, take those trades, right? We put our money where our mouth is, and we cash out with the premium Discord. But, when you look at this, you're thinking to yourself, well, like, what if we don't get up there, right? And, again, with the money flow coming out, I'm not just going to blindly sit here and hold this until we hit final TP, right? I am locking in profits along the way. I already have taken my first take profit, but we have some local levels. Now, in general, guys, if I'm looking at this from the macro perspective, long here, look to go to the POC, flip the POC. The next area that I would be looking for bigger shorts would be up the value area high. But that's long term, right? It might take us a little bit to get up there if we do wind up going, right? But I want to pull up some local levels with you guys, and these are the same local levels that we were looking at last week. And right now, you guys can see we are pushing into, in all of its glory, the value area low of our local range. Now, I'm going to hide this line right here real quick. So, we're long from here. We know we have local resistance. We have a local golden pocket 786 retracement. Let me just show that real quick. I'll pull up the golden pocket. We smashed through that golden pocket. We were actually live on the premium live stream when we were hitting this, saying, hey, if we get above this, we're going to be looking to push into that 786, which is the start of our next key level of resistance. Now, the reason for this is because not only is this a 786, it's also the value area low of the range. It is also a volume point of control here. So this whole zone of resistance is going to be a big level to look at. And because it is a 786 golden pocket retracement, like I just showed you here, let me actually just change the settings to the entry zone. We know that if the lower high doesn't come in at the golden pocket, it could come in at the 786. And with the confluence that we have up here with the volume point of control, this is definitely going to be a big level, and obviously was the take profit level that I was looking at with the premium. But now we're already in there, right? So the question is, are we going to reject from here? And I'll be honest, I do think there's a possibility that we kind of continue up. But the two major zones I'm looking at for rejections is going to be, key level number one, sitting right here between 94,977 up to this volume point of control, which is technically sitting at 94,970. But basically, this resistance zone sitting between 94,977 and where we're kind of sitting right now at about $94,238. This is a local Fibonacci retracement, and technically this is where you look for technically there is a somewhat of a probability of a lower high coming in here locally. But as you know, it's very hard to tell if you're going to reject the local golden pocket 786 or if you're going to go in for that full retracement from the overall swing high to the swing low. Now, those levels are actually coming somewhat in confluence with our value area high of the range. So from a shorter term perspective, I am simply looking at price in terms of this local volume profile. Again, not forgetting we have the macro profile, right? But looking at this locally, if we could get, like, these are the stair steps that we have to get above, and those local levels we have to break above in order to see local higher prices. Get above that volume point of control. The doorway to that POC is now open once again. Once we flip that POC to support, that's where I'd be looking for the journey into this local value area high. Golden pocket really starts here. It's kind of a big zone of resistance, to be quite honest with you. But this is starting at about 97,331. This is where we have our main point of control from our larger range. So this is a level we want to keep in mind. This is definitely a very key level of resistance, macro POC, right? And I just pulling up that range to show you guys where that level actually comes from, right? I just want to give you random levels on the chart. I want to show you where they're coming from so you can actually learn something and then use that information to make some money in the market, right? So we have that main POC somewhat confluent with, or pretty confluent with, this local golden pocket, right? Or I shouldn't say, well, local's relative, right? But from the swing high to the swing low. So that golden pocket and main POC technically is sitting between about $98,000 and $97,343. But, technically, Once you get above this POC, the doorway is open to your value area high. So I'm looking at this as a whole zone of resistance, because if we're not going to put in a lower high right here and continue breaking structure to the downside, which again, 4-hour money flow being in the red does put us at risk at potentially seeing that happen. But if we get above that 786, right, push above these levels, technically this is our next major zone of resistance, sitting between 98,686 and 97,343, in which case we will simply be treating this as a volume profile, right? We get above there. Once we get into that golden pocket value area high, this is a key level of resistance. And then that 786 is sitting just above that at about 99,846. But we're going to have to play this level to level, right? I am simply coming into the key levels of resistance, taking some profit and seeing if we can get above these, right? And, with money flow looking right now on the 15-minute, if we can get that next green dot, if we get this next green dot during the live stream, we may be able to get the kind of resolution to that possibility of that money flow coming back into the green on the 15-minute. So if we can get that, we got to get above this purple box and hopefully push through this local profile. But if not, this is definitely going to be key resistance, because if we reject that local golden pocket, that could be the area where we put that lower high in and continue our overall downtrend to lower prices. But Frankie, I don't want to go down to lower prices. But since you mentioned it, where are we going? So yeah, if we hide this, right? Let's assume, right, and again, if you're here for longer-term levels, you're not looking to scalp or, catch little local shorts or anything like that. You're just here for the major levels. We bounced off a very key level of support. 90, it's the zone we've been looking at, for the last 15 streams in a row, right? And the question is, if we do wind up putting in that lower high, again, at that key Fibonacci zone, right, local Fibonacci retracement, let's get that pulled. Come on. Gonna make me zoom in here. Come on. There we go, right? So we'll put that as entry zone, right? So if we do put that lower high in here, which hopefully we can just get above it, but if we did put that lower high in here, and that is the lower high indeed, and we're going to break structure to the downside, what's that next level we're looking at? Well, very simply put, it's the same dang levels we were looking at last week, guys. Pulling up those dailies, right? I did not mean to draw that exactly to the level, but it is sitting down here daily at about 87,342. So if we do put the lower high in here, we continue down, we break structure to the downside. The next key levels, 87,347 down to the overall macro range low, sitting at 85,233. Now this is, again, the key pocket of low volume that we've been watching and hoping that we don't have to come and mess around with. Because if we have to come down here and mess around with this range low, guys, things could potentially get kind of ugly. Now, why is that, right? Well, if we pull up our visible range volume profile, it's pretty dang clear. Let me come on in here, turn off the value area high, value area low POC, and let's jump on in here. I'm on one today, guys. Shout out to the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. And just for what it's worth, guys, I am not using those glass straws anymore because that caused a absolutely catastrophic spill on my desk on Friday, and we almost blew up the entire PC. So back to the plastic straws. I'm sorry, turtles. I'm sorry. But let me just take a sip of this really quick. Audio is super low. Really. Shout out to Wade Wilson. Thank you for saying that, bro. What the heck is going on with my dang audio recently? Let me turn this up. Am I blasting everybody's eardrums out now? Is that better? Is that worse? Is everyone scared right now because I'm screaming too loud? Let me know. Why not just drink it out of the cup? Shout out to Chemistry, bro. I don't know what shout out to Chemistry, bro. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you, bro. Dang, Chem, bro. Cutting deep there. You know what? Screw the straws. Screw the straws, guys. We're drinking out of the cup, guys. We're drinking out of the cup. I just feel like this now looks like I'm at a party. But hey, the Frankie Candles live stream is a party. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Better sound. Okay, cool. All right, so audio is good. Give me some green checks in the chat if audio is good. What's the lower level on the daily time frame we need to break to confirm the bearish scenario? Is it 92K? I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm going to show you the exact level and exactly why. Not just because this is a strong level of support that I think should hold. It is all based off volume and the gaps that we have down below. But before I bring that up, let me just get over to these super chats real quick. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, not financial advice, of course, never financial advice, guys, but smash that dang like button. And Jesse with another super chat. Thank you so much. Yo, Jesse always showing love, bro. Shout out to Jesse. He says, not financial advice, but smash that like. Just 2 times in a row, guys. He sent the 2 super chats, so smash that like button. If we get 1,000 likes tonight, I will be giving away $150 in Solana on Friday's live stream. So shout out to Jesse. Thank you so much for dropping those super chats, bro. I appreciate you more than you probably know. But let's see. Okay, so let's continue on here. Now, again, I do want to point out before we look at these lower levels, guys, I will just say, right, I'm going to hide this real quick. I will just say, right, like as of right now, we are within our larger volume profile, right? So until we wind up breaking this value area low, there's really no reason to be looking down to those levels. But again, we have the key support, the key resistance here, so we have to keep that in mind. But, unless we lose this, right, this could have been the low. This could have potentially been the low with the SFP. Again, I don't love the way Market Cipher B looks, right? If we have a 4-hour bull div and our money flow looked opposite to what it looks like right here, you have a fresh money flow crossover into the red. This is usually this continuation of a downtrend, right? Just in all honesty. And like even right here, right? Money flow crosses over into the red right here, right? You get a bounce to the upside. Money flow crosses over into the red. You get a bounce, but what happens? You wind up just coming down and breaking structure to lower prices, right? Continuing that overall downtrend. And this is why you want to look at Market Cipher as a filter on whether you should be looking for higher lows and continuations up or lower highs and continuations down. So with that being said, if we do wind up, let's come back over to the Bitstamp chart real quick so I can talk about that key level. So we're not panicking until we lose that value area low. However, if we do, bringing up that volume, visible range volume profile, I will say, guys, let's zoom it out. Let's come on over to the daily time frame, get some more price action in here, right? Look at this from a higher time frame perspective. This is nice. Hopefully this is the wick. Hopefully that is the bottom wick. Flush those lows and send this thing to 150K. But you can see we are playing with fire here, guys. We are playing with fire. Look at the dang volume gap here. And where does that low volume gap begin? Well, pretty much it begins right on our $85,000 range low, right? So if we do come down, now again, we do have that daily level, and this is two different charts, so unfortunately I'm going to have to toggle back and forth here. We do have that daily level sitting here at 87,347. So I'll actually just go ahead and mark that 87,347. Right, so we'll just go, where does that come out of? 87. We'll go right here, and I'll just mark this out, right? Come on. It's going to be a little different because we're on Bitstamp here, but 87,333 on Bitstamp, but it's pretty much the same level. These are kind of the last levels of support here, guys, because if we break down below that macro value area low, we lose that range. This is where we come in danger. This danger level starts pretty much as you start breaking that level. So to answer the question, I forgot who asked it, to answer the question of like, what is the level we need to break to kind of confirm the bearish case, I would say the daily at about 87,333, right? Once you lose that daily, that is kind of where you start to fall, right? And we can draw this out just to kind of show you guys. I'll draw a box over this low volume gap. Kind of starts right here, pretty much at 86K. And that's why I'm not saying the range low is the level, but the daily is the level. So if I kind of highlight that and bring it down to our next significant area of support based off the volume here on this high volume node, this whole low volume gap, that's a local golden pocket. Gap, there we go, right? Low volume gap. That is pretty much your gap here. So if you start losing that daily, right, this is kind of where things could get moving pretty quickly to the downside, falling through that low volume gap, potentially bringing you as low as $77,000. Now, to be quite honest with you guys, we have a bit of support down there, right? If I just pull our golden pocket, I'm just going to pull it fresh on this chart, right? Our golden pocket from the impulse to the high, you can see 82, right? Pretty much $82,000 to $80,000 is our first major level of support. And then just underneath that, I'll show this on the other chart as well because it's a little cleaner. And then that last level of support is really sitting here at the 786, getting closer to $75,000. I do not want to see Bitcoin back at $77,000 or even $75,000. Like, this is not a situation I even want to have to deal with, but it is technically a key level to the downside. And not only just like, hey guys, that's the key level, but like this is the level we need to lose in order to potentially fall into this low volume gap. Now, if we lose that daily, does it guarantee that we get a nuke to the floor down to 75K? Not necessarily, but again, these high volume nodes are typically what act as significant support, right? That's your high volume node. Your next significant high volume node, I wouldn't even really call this significant. Your real significant node is sitting down here at about 67K. So when I say we're dancing with danger, guys, I am not joking around. Now, is it possible to hold some of these lower volume nodes of support? Absolutely, right? Because we still have the golden pocket here. And, you know, I always say this when it comes to volume, right? Quick moves up. You see we have an explosive move to the upside. Oftentimes, when you break back into that gap and you start losing those levels, right, that's where you see oftentimes a quick move down. You kind of fill that gap in the same way that you shot up, right? Quick move up, quick move down. And that it is accompanied by that low volume gap, as well as a lot of liquidity that we likely have sitting below this wick low at $85,000. So this is like kind of the next macro zone of support if we get another big leg down. Like, this is really not what we want to deal with, but, that's the next key zone of support. You start losing this zone, woo, baby, things can get exciting in a very negative way to the downside. Now, again, we do have some significant support at $82,000 to $80,000, so just breaking below this gap, although I would expect that move to kind of happen very quickly to the golden pocket, it doesn't ensure that you're definitely going to get down to the 786. And if I pull up our other chart here, you guys can see, right, we look at these levels every single day. So you lose that daily value macro range low, things could probably start getting pretty bearish pretty quickly. Quick moves to the downside. Your first major level of support is sitting between $82,698 and $80,000. We also have a very significant anchored VWAP coming through here. So, this is macro support. We really want to hold that. If we are unable to, right, we lose this, we get the quick move down here. If we can't get the bounce here, guys, the doorway is open to fall through our next little low volume gap into that 786. And again, there is more support, in my opinion, down in this zone. But once we get down here, guys, this is not a level we want to mess around with. Because if we mess around with this, we are starting to potentially, and you could just see that gap in all of its glory, guys. Yikes. You really want to hold that golden pocket, if not that 786. But you can see, like, the real significant shelf of volume comes in here at about 73,670. And at this point, once you lose that CME gap down here, things are really looking suspicious. And I'm really starting to worry about Bitcoin in the medium term, right? But we're pretty dang far away from that, to be quite honest with you, right? So like I said, long term, right, or immediate term, until we lose this value area low, we don't really have to worry about that. But I do just want you guys to be aware of those levels down below because, we talked about this value area low sitting down here for quite some time. And I felt crazy saying, guys, like, we could come fill this range. It would make a lot of sense to come sweep these lows, hit that value area low technically before, getting a bounce, right? And here we are, right? It took a little while, right? It was a very confusing journey. Get a little bounce here, low bouncing, oh, we're bouncing, oh, we're going up. No, now we're going sideways. Boom. We come down and hit that level. And that's why I always say, guys, trading is a game of trapping, not a game of hunting. We sit on our hands, we wait for those key levels to get hit, and that is where we take those long positions or short positions, depending on what you're looking at. So that's the sauce right there, guys. That is what we're looking at. So short term, just keep in mind, most important key level in the medium term is the value area low sitting at 90,000, more specifically, sitting at about $90,400. We start breaking down below there. That's where we start to potentially break into that low volume gap, in which case we just go ahead, come to a higher time frame, zoom out, and take a look at those next key levels down below, right? Lose this low. That's where we're looking down towards the daily. This is playing with fire. I'll even put this as, daily. Oh my God, please bounce. Boom, right? Like, please, for the love of God, do not break this level because that's where things get really hairy. Or should I say very smooth and not hairy. But anyway, it's a slippery slope there. But that's what we're looking at, guys, right? Like, this is just a case of, like, waiting for that key level to get hit, taking advantage of that key level getting hit with confirmations, and then taking advantage of that long position to the upside with the premium Discord, right? We lose that, we'll simply... Short will continue to pay us out. I am still holding a small portion of my short from up higher. My original entry was 106K. It has obviously come down as I've added to that trade, so I've added and taken profit again on that trade. So my entry has come down a bit, but I am still holding a position, still holding a portion of that swing short position. And in that case, we'll get stopped out probably in profit on this trade, and then that short will continue to pay us out. But hopefully we don't have to see 80 to 82K. It's really nice to see this strong bounce. But again, that 4-hour money flow, we really got to see this money flow come back up. Because again, like, if I were looking for this to be a strong bottom, I was saying this to the premium Discord earlier in our live stream, lower lows on your price action. You want to see higher lows on your momentum waves, which we do not have here. And you also, to add to that, you would want to see money flow coming up, not crossing into the red. You would literally want to see the opposite of what we're seeing happen here, right? You want a big red wave just crossing over into the green. If we had a bullish divergence with the money flow about just starting to cross over into the green here, I'd feel really, really good about a full continuation up to that value area high and potentially beyond. But because we don't have those extra confirmations, I am going to be very careful taking profit on that long position, understanding the danger of potentially getting another drop to the downside here. But so far, so good locally. We'll see if we can hold these lows, guys. Let me check in on chat real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Bada boom. 1000X Bojack trade coming in. Shout out to Crypto Monkey. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Mark Dutch. Let's see. I can't say that out loud, Mark. Shout out to you, though. Let's see. How do you find those daily levels and daily what? Cheers. Shout out to Jix Mop, I think is what that says. I think you're talking about the daily horizontal and the daily naked points of controls. I actually just dropped a tutorial recently on how to find those naked points of controls. You can check them out on the channel for 100% free. I believe they live in the beginner series, so go ahead and check that out. I show you how to get the naked points of controls on your chart, and I also have just go watch through the whole beginner tutorials. In the beginner series, I show you how to find those daily levels, the weekly levels, and the naked points of controls. It's all in there for 100% free. This entire YouTube channel is essentially a free trading course for the Mafia. Obviously, we do have the premium Discord where I give my personal trade setups, what I'm looking for, the confirmations, where I'm looking to enter. It's not a signals group. I want to be very clear. I don't tell you when to buy or sell, but I just showed it before. I show you what we are looking for price to do, and if we see specific confirmations, that's where I'm looking for the long positions. So I just put my personal trade setups in there. Obviously, we have the premium, but just so you guys know, this whole YouTube channel is full of free sauce, right? Like it's basically a free trading course because I know not everybody has money to lay out for like a premium course or whatever it is. So you can always start for free. I have tons of indicator tutorials. You don't need to have paid indicators to make money trading. Obviously it helps. All right, I'd be lost without Lux Algo or Market Cipher B. But obviously, you don't need to lay out money to start making money in the market. The only money I would say you have to lay out to make money trading is the money in your trading account. So there you go. Let's see. Shout out to Aziz said, Frankie, in the last cycle, we broke the golden pocket, but the rally started. Do you think there will be a sell the news event? Well, shout out to Aziz. That was actually a situation we were talking about with January 20th coming up. Obviously, when Trump won the election, right, we saw that massive move to the upside. It was crazy bullish for Bitcoin. And now everyone's wondering if the same thing is going to happen on January 20th. And although I do think that is a very plausible argument, right, I think there's like a good reason to feel like that. And could that happen? Absolutely, I believe. But could it wind up being, right, like that? That was the move up, right? And then, he gets in on the 20th, right? After January 20th, it's kind of the sell the news event. Now, would that kind of mark the top of the bear market? I mean, I'll say the same thing I said earlier today, guys. If $108,000 is the top and there's no alt season and Ethereum doesn't make a new all-time high, this is something we've never seen before, right? And there's no way anyone could have predicted that. Do I fall in that camp? No. I don't think the bull market is over. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I am not here to be 100% right 100% of the time, but we can only use the TA and historical data to come up with the highest probability outcomes, right? But highest probability is much different than just knowing where the bottom is and saying it's going up. Very certain, right? Being 100% certain that it's going to happen. Nobody can do that, right? Regardless of what people tell you, nobody knows where the bottom is. And if they are saying that, they're absolutely lying to you, right? I don't know if anyone is telling you that, but if they are saying it's guaranteed that 108K is the top, or it's guaranteed that, right here at 89.1 was the bottom, right? Like no one knows 100%, right? But again, we don't need to know 100% as traders, right? Like I said, up $1,600, right? Or whatever it was on that long position. I could pull it back up in a day on this move. Like we don't need the massive moves, right? We just need the volatility in the market, whether it's going up or if it's going down. We can make money going both ways. All we need is the movement in the market. So as traders, right, my trading mindset doesn't really worry too much about that stuff. But from a long-term perspective, right, an investor perspective, a spot huddle bag perspective, obviously that's kind of where people get lost in the sauce trying to call for like, this is the exact bottom, this is the exact top. And it is much harder than people realize to do that, right? Even as someone who, I would consider myself an expert in technical analysis, even someone like me who's been doing TA for years, it's even hard for someone like me to do that, right? Do we call tops a lot of the time? Yes, but there's always an if this then that statement, right? It's always like, hey guys, high probability that, even on this lower high that we put in here on the golden pocket, right? We're looking at this and we're saying, hey, like high probability that the lower high comes in here for a potential drop back into our range to get that full rotation of the value area, right? But we know as traders, right, as experienced traders, not like a new person who thinks that an indicator can tell them exactly where price is going to go. there always is an opportunity to potentially see another case play out. And that's why I always give the bullish case, the bearish case, and then I let you guys know which way I'm leaning and which way I think the TA is pointing to, right? Because the TA can give you an edge, as in it could give you a higher probability outcome, but it's never 100%, right? And that's why you have to manage your risk. You're never, if you're out there and you're making like gambles on your whole account, and you're just saying like, this is the bottom, I'm going to long this to $1 million, that's how you wind up losing a lot of money trading. But if you have the key levels, you're able to get in there, grab your bag, and jump out, or at least take partial profit in case you are right. You could at least have that win or run, and if you get stopped out, you'll get stopped out in profit, and it literally guarantees a winning trade. People say you can't have a guaranteed winning trading. Well, you sure can, but the only way to do that is to manage the risk, take money off the table, and move your stop loss, right? It's not picking the level and knowing that it's guaranteed going to go in a certain direction. It's a big misconception about trading. Everyone thinks you have to be able to know exactly what price is going to do, and a lot of people who don't believe in TA will be like, traders just say it could go up or down because it just covers them in case they're wrong. But that is quite literally what you have to do. You have to look at the bearish or bullish case, not only because if you don't do that, you're going to lose all your money, but you also want to do that because if you only look for price to go up, right, you're leaving opportunity on the table. You have to look at the bearish case because we can make money on short positions from areas that we know are likely to give us pullbacks, right? And then if you're already in a long position, let me break down something really quickly for you guys. And again, I think a lot of people who don't believe in TA, they think that the point of TA is to guarantee that you know where price is going to go. That's not the case, right? That's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to find the highest probability outcome and then pairing that with risk management to constantly extract money from the market, right? So if we're in a long position here, we did take this in the premium Discord, right? So when we take this long position, we can look at this as like, hey, we hit final TP. You can take a bunch of profit, move your stop loss into profit. Now that trade is a guaranteed winner. If price keeps going, that single or double winds up being a home run or a grand slam, and it hits you by surprise. But it's very nice when that happens. But if you know there's a high probability of a rejection here, you can then look for short opportunities and hedge your bet and take a short from here. That way, right, and especially when you're looking in the grand scheme of the volume profiles, there might be a high probability to come back down in here and fill the range in full. And this is where you can start to look at the market and say, well, hey, I've locked in my profit here. My stop loss is in profit. I'm going to take a stab at a hedge short here, right? And then if price comes down and stops you out of your long, you're going to get stopped out in massive profit, and then that short will continue to pay you out, right? It's not about selling the exact top and taking profit at the exact bottom, or buying the bottom and taking profit at the exact top, right? You don't necessarily have to do that. And in my opinion, that's never my goal, right? Sometimes I do close my trade in full when I'm happy with the profit and it's full TP and my trade has fully played out to my plan. Maybe I will lock in all my profits and take the money and run. But oftentimes I'm taking a lot of profit, leaving a small portion to run in case I am wrong. Like here we were like, hey, high probability of a rejection, but there's a chance that we were wrong. So we leave a portion of that winning trade open in case it continues to run. If you're not looking for new positions, you can look for new positions as well. But this just goes to show, right? Like you don't need to predict the exact bottom and the exact top to make money. This is not the point of TA. It's just to give you a higher probability outcome, right? To find some kind of an edge, and then you manage your risk to make money in either direction. All right, let's see. Donald Pump, shout out to Peter Ott. Let's see. Hopefully, bro. Hopefully. I hope that is the case. Let's see. Shout out to I can't say that full name, bro. Shout out to Big Trump. That's what we'll call you. But he says literally just started shorting a month ago after almost 2 years of being scared. Shout out to Big Trump. Well, listen, bro. I assume you mean you kind of shorted into this. You may have seen this dropping down. That's when you entered the short, which obviously did not continue to come down. But just have patience. Trading is a very difficult skill to learn. And with resources like this YouTube channel for totally free, showing you exactly how I trade, showing the actual trades, and, obviously in the premium Discord showing the setups, it's like, hopefully you can learn something from here. And don't feel pressured to, like, go out there and pay for services, right? Like, you could get a ton of value from this free live stream. Let's see. Bada boom. All right, so let's continue on here. I hope she bleeds. Shout out to Multi-Sig Dummy. And I'll be honest with you guys, as a trader, she pumps, she dumps. The CandleMafia makes money. So I'm not too concerned about whether this thing rips all the way back up to all-time highs. I think, to be quite honest with you, if we did see the more bearish case play out, we start falling through this low volume gap, hopefully we could bounce from that golden pocket. This would be a very, very scary situation for a lot of people. Classic shakeout before a real big move up. That is in the cards. If we did see that, in my opinion, right, it would just be annoying, right? Because you just have to wait so much longer, right? It's just like that slow drawdown or that quick dump. Like everyone gets scared. The morale is down. Just the crypto community as a whole is just like in bad spirits. It's like, come on, man. Like this is supposed to be a bull market, Bitcoin. Come on, do bull market things. Stop doing sideways things. But, again, just to put it in perspective, we're really just going sideways here, guys, on the higher time frames. Listen, I know that this drop down was brutal for a lot of people. I know this drop down was somewhat brutal for a lot of people. I know the altcoins are getting absolutely bled out. But to be honest, they're not really getting bled out, at least right now, right? Like, just looking at Cardano here, right? Like, massive move to the upside, right? And we're essentially just consolidating here. So it doesn't mean that it can't turn really bearish, but like when you get these big moves up, this is not like a lot of people that are feeling the pain here. We're buying on the way up. This is not what you want to do. This is what I try to preach until I'm blue in the face. You do not want to be buying the tops, right? You want to find those coins that are still undervalued. But the altcoins are taking a bit of a hit here. But again, like just in the grand scheme of things, just like zoom out, right? Like this is low, high, higher, low, higher, high, right? Like this is definitely not like this as scary as a lot of people think. And if you're feeling that pain, just understand, look at the higher time frames, right? Like this is a lot less scary looking, right? This does look more, would you agree? Oh, wow, we got a massive move up and now we're kind of just wiggling sideways. When you zoom in, this feels really brutal. This feels really brutal. But in the grand scheme of things, like this is pretty much just consolidation. And again, doesn't mean we can't continue down. We'll take a look at the altcoins. I'll give you guys my thoughts on a lot of this stuff in a minute. But, a lot of the stuff, there are some altcoins that are getting hit harder than others. But just understand, like, technically, a lot of this stuff is just going sideways. Like even XRP is a perfect example of this. I'll cover this a little bit more in a second. But XRP is like everyone's like, oh my God. Like we're just going sideways here, right? Like we just have consolidation, right? This is not like it shouldn't be. I don't want to say it shouldn't be painful, right? If you bought up here, if you bought the top, that's painful, right? 35% down. You're watching like all your money go away. But just understand it's the context of where you are in the market, right? Like from a binary perspective, not thinking that you bought up here or bought down here. Just looking at this chart. This is not scary, right? Like so take a deep breath, right? And again, it doesn't mean it can't get bad. We'll cover XRP in a minute. But this is literally just going sideways right now. This is consolidating, and in my opinion, I would even argue I didn't want that to populate, but does look like some potential bullish consolidation, at least for XRP. But with all that being said, guys, we'll keep an eye here on Bitcoin and see if we can continue up locally. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, Bitcoin. Right? But we're going to jump into the altcoins here real quick. Shout out to Thomas, said real sad to see. Shout out to Thomas. I guess you're probably talking about the altcoins. Let's see. Can we take a look at Tezos? Shout out to DJ Meat Missile. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, we can try to take a look at Tezos for you. But yeah, drop your altcoins in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Snob will count out the votes and let us know what we're looking at. Shout out to Rob, by the way, and Captain Kirk in the chat. What is going on, guys? Thank you for being here. I will write down Tezos real quick so I could hopefully not forget. I'm going to try to take a look at as many altcoins as I can. Please do not super chat your altcoins, or you can, but it doesn't guarantee we look at them. You don't have to pay to request your altcoin. Just drop them in the chat. Let's see. Bada boom. Peak. Yeah, we could try to take a look at Peak, and then we'll go through the list. I have some I want to look at right now, and then we'll try to take a look at some of these other requests, and Rob will grab the top 3 votes and drop them in the chat so we can take a look at those as well. So drop them in the chat if you got them, and then, yeah, XTZ. All right, so I'll try to get some of these. But first off, guys, let's cover Ethereum, which also has come down to our key level of support. Now, if you guys have been following along with the live streams at any capacity, you guys know that as we were ping-ponging around here, what have we been talking about, right? This is kind of no man's land, right? No man's land, no man's land, no man's land. At this point, the only key levels that we had were sitting down here at $3,000. And shout out to anybody who's been watching the live streams because this is absolutely perfect. This is no man's land, right? Can you trade this chop? Can you scalp this chop? Long, short, long, short, long, short, bam, 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 right? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. You could totally trade that on a lower time frame. However, for the bigger trades, for the bigger moves, right, we wanted to wait for our key level of resistance or our key level of support to get hit. First, we came up into our key level of resistance, into that golden pocket, into the value area high, where we know price is potentially overvalued for a potential, if you can get bearish confirmations, which we indeed did have here, guys. Very clear confirmations here at the high. Higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves. Quick, drop to the downside, right? Once you can't get back above that POC, you're looking for that continuation of the journey into our next key level. So for me, for the bigger trades, I would have rather waited for this resistance or this support for big rejections or bigger bounces. And I know it seemed crazy, right? It's like, are we really going to see that $3,000 level? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I'm not long in any of this garbage, right? Because I would rather wait for that actual key level to get hit. What happens, right? And again, it's just a volume profile. Even here, like you deviate above the highs, get back into the range, bearish retest to the POC, can't get back above the POC, you get the move down towards the low. We did front run the low here. It got a little bit noisy, but then we just got one more shot up towards that value area high, and then we wound up coming in for that full fill of the value area. And this was a very key level of support, guys. We have the daily and weekly horizontal levels. We have the value area low sitting at about $3,000 even. And we also had a macro golden pocket. You can see it right here, making this a very confluent zone of support, right? And what happens, right? We come down, bada boom, right? We come down and we even swing failed, at least on the 4 hour. I don't know if we got this on the 1 hour. Yeah, we basically swing failed this on the 1 hour time frame, swing failed the lows, hold the value area low, and now we're coming back into the range here. If we could stay above the top of this blue box, on top of this now tapped daily and weekly level at about $3,072, this could potentially give us that continuation to the upside. Is this where Ethereum makes all-time highs? Well, I'll tell you this. Coming on over to the 4 hour, it's a similar situation to Bitcoin, where I actually would prefer to see stronger confirmations down here. Does that guarantee that the low isn't in? Not necessarily, but I would be much more confident in a huge bounce here into the value area high and potentially beyond if we had something like 4 hour bullish divergences, which we very much do not have, right? We do not have higher lows on our momentum waves. We very much have lower lows. And our money flow has crossed over into the red, which gives us that bias of looking for lackluster retracements for lower highs and continuations down. It doesn't mean we can't take longs down here and make money. It also doesn't mean we can't get all the way back up to the high, but the probabilities here, based off market cipher, would say that we could continue to the downside, right? Money flow indicates the longer-term trend. These red and green dots indicate the noise in the market. Green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, right? Money flow indicates the overall trend, right? Does that make sense? We could come down here to some other significant money flow crossovers. Like if you look at a daily, it's a little bit less messy, right? Money flow crosses over into the green. Does that mean you go up in a straight line? Well, you do for a little bit, but then you come back down. But in the context of this, with money flow in the green, you're looking for higher lows and breaks of structure to the upside, right? Because that money flow is letting you know that the overall trend will continue to the upside. You can have these little dumps, right? These little pullbacks, these little pullbacks, right? But the trend continues to the upside. So as long as that money flows in the green, you're looking for higher lows and continuations up. But in this case, at least on the 4 hour, right, you would be looking for lackluster retracements for continuations to the downside. So that is open. And just to show you guys what happened when you came into this value area high, you had pretty clean, like honestly, very clean, 3 drives. Not really, but you have 3 highs here, right? 3 drives pushing into that value area high with the 4 hour bearish divergence into your, key level, right? And what happens? You get the rejection, right? So I would really like to see those 4 hour bull divs. We simply do not have them. And to be honest, do we have the blood diamond? Yeah, we had the 2-day blood diamond on Ethereum. We also had this on Bitcoin as well. So this is another reason. I'll pull it up over here. All right, this is another reason why we were open to the idea of coming down to that value area low. We had that daily 2-day blood diamond, which definitely had the power to push us down to those next key levels of support. All right, so we had that on Ethereum as well, right? At the high, actually, for Ethereum, we get that push down to the value area low. This is key support, guys. Hopefully, this is the low. I hope so, right? But I would be much more likely to say I'm confident in this being the low if we had those 4 hour bull divs with money flow coming up. But we don't have the bull divs, and indeed, we have the money flow coming out. Now, could see the continued bounce here, but I would be a little bit suspicious if we wind up losing this level. I don't want to say it, guys. I don't want to say it. Mafia, don't make me say it. Can someone say it in the chat? If we lose this level, guys, the next key level, hang on. The next key level, guys, somebody put it in the chat. I don't want to say it, right? If we continue down, there's key levels below us. I'm not going to say what they are. Somebody drop it in the chat, please, for the love of God. Shout out to Hoodie. Shout out to Hoodie. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, XRP, do you think the SEC will appeal by January 15th? Seems pointless since Trump is crypto-friendly. Also wondering if it's already priced in. Shout out to Hoodie. We're actually going to take a look at XRP in just a minute, so I'll give you my thoughts there next. We'll take a look at Solana, then we'll jump into XRP, and then we'll jump into the list. Smash that like button, by the way, guys. 1,000 likes. We're giving away $150 in Solana. So smash that like button. I don't know where we're at right now, but let's get at least 100 likes. On the count of 3, smash that like button. 1, 2, 3. Smash that like button. I'm going to take a sip of the Aztec King Cactus Moss Water. Shout out to Slyman. Shout out to Slyman slipping in there with a super chat. I appreciate you so much, bro. He said, please check dogs. Oh, my God. I never let my dogs inside. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Dogs, I will try to take a look at that for you, brother. If we have time, I'll try to get there for you. But we're going to run through the list, and then usually we have some extra time, so I will try to take a look at them for you. Yeah, XRP looks real strong, honestly. I agree with you, Kembro. I agree with you, bro. Let's see. Bada boom. 2K, 85K. All right, 2.7K on ETH. Thank you, Dr. MTG. Is that Magic the Gathering? Shout out to Dr. MTG. Did you say 100x short right now? Incognito. Clarification. I did not say that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, okay, so I didn't say it, guys. Dr. MTG said it. 2.7K on ETH. If we lose the lows here, right? And why is that? Well, very simply put, guys. If we lose the value area low / golden pocket, right? You lose the golden pocket, where are you looking for price to go next? Probably going to go for that 786 retracement. Where is that 786 retracement? It's sitting at 2731. It's also confluent with our previous range high. This would be brutal, guys. This would be absolutely brutal. Please, for the love of God, I hope we don't have to see this, guys. But that's where the 786 is. I don't make the levels. I just show them. I just show you guys where they are. So again, if we pull up our VPVR, like another thing I want to say, we come down here for Ethereum. That's Bitcoin at 80K in my opinion. And if we pull up the VPVR, where is it? Bada boom, right? Pull up. Okay, didn't work there. Let's pull up the VPVR. Please populate the chart. There we go. You guys can see, just like Bitcoin has that $85,000 range low. Well, I guess it wouldn't be there. It'd be a little lower, right? That $85,000 range low before that gold low volume gap opens up. For Ethereum, that level is kind of where we just bounced from, right? Like, not going to lie. Ethereum kind of got that bounce by the skin of its teeth on this high volume node. Just slipped the lows, came back up, and got the bounce. This is what we want to see. But what we do not want to see, guys, is a loss of this golden pocket, because you start losing these levels down here. Not much holding you up, right? So I'm going to label this high volume node as it is a key level on the chart. I'll even label it at the bottom, right? We're going to label this key high volume node. This is the level we don't want to lose. We lose this. Could be a very fast drop down towards about 2730, all the way down to the value area high sitting at about 2685. And you can see this is where your real high volume node picks up, right? So technically we lose this range low, could see a quick move down to this next high volume node. Technically, this super high volume node comes in at about $2,600. This is in the cards, guys, if we lose these range lows. So right now for Ethereum, like I was saying this in the premium Discord, just like on Bitcoin, we are playing with fire here. Definitely a dangerous game because, right, something like that is possible. On Ethereum, it's the same thing. Playing with fire. Lose this, right? $2,600 to $2,700 could be in the cards. And I didn't say it, guys. Dr. MTG said it. But don't show him any hate in the chat. He had to do it. Somebody had to do it. But again, at this point, guys, would I love to see that 4-hour bull div? Yes. Is it like guarantee that we're going to lose this and continue down? No, but I will say that money flow does make it a little bit more probable to see that lower high and continuation down. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Frankie, if we're going to get that lower high, what are you looking at? What are those levels that we could potentially reject? Well, I'm going to give it to you, right? So if I'm going to pull two fibs here. One from the high, from the tap on the volume profile, from the swing high to the swing low. This puts that golden pocket 786, which again is the high probability area to put in a lower high before continuing down. This is very similar to what we looked at on Bitcoin when we were looking for the macro lower high to come in on the golden pocket 786. What happens? We come up, we put the lower high in, and then we continue breaking structure to the downside. On Ethereum, that was this level, right? So if we're going to look for the continuation of the trend, the next area where I would be looking for a significant lower high, if we can make it up there, would be sitting at this golden pocket at about 3430. Now, this is a zone. It's sitting between about 3430 and 3564. It's a golden pocket, POC of the range, as well as the 786 retracement. And then through that, you have a spider line sitting as well. So there is a lot of resistance here. Let me see where this anchored VWAP falls. Let me pull it right about hither. Okay, so that is not... Let me pull it from the high. Let's just see if we get any confluence there. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be there by the time we get up there. But you do have a decent bit of confluence in here, right? So just keep that in mind. And that's kind of zone number one, right? There's two major levels. Number one would be this zone right here. If we got above that 786, very simply put, the next significant retracement would really be the one that we just rejected the golden pocket on, right? So we get above the 786. I'd look for a move into the value area high, which we know is always going to be resistance, right? Where we look for the deviation, potential short positions. But if we could break out there, technically the macro level we must get above, if we want to see Ethereum push into new all-time highs, right? If this was the low, you want to see a flip of the 786 at about 38.93, almost 3,900 bucks. Get above that 786, hold that spider line as support, and you could potentially see that 40, depending on how quickly we get up there, $4,300 Ethereum. But we're pretty far away from there, right? So we're playing it level to level. Let's see if we can get that continued bounce to the upside. Now, local levels, you could potentially look at this local Fibonacci retracement. So I'll kind of give you these two, right? Because I don't think we're going to come up to that 786 anytime soon. Or at least, in the next day or so. So the two real levels that I'd be looking at for lower highs right now would be to push into this golden pocket 786. If the lower high does not come in there and we flip that 786, I'd look to go to the POC in our next major level, right? So if the downtrend continues, if that 4-hour money flow is indeed giving us the signal that the trend down is going to continue, it's very likely, in my opinion, either come in here or come in here. We'll see what happens. This would be the stronger level, in my opinion. This is a local retracement. These get broken sometimes. This would be the stronger level to continue that overall downtrend. So we'll see if we can work our way into these levels and assess the situation as we push into these retracements. So there you go. And again, like 2-day, nothing really to take away here from the higher time frames. Yeah. And we had the 2-day blood diamond. That was the last significant signal. Daily, getting rejected at the zero line. Yeah. So that's what I'd be looking at on Ethereum, guys. Just shows you. Sometimes you have to have patience to come on into those zones. All right, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Felix. Said, yo, Frankie, hope you're good, bro. I managed to make some profits from the mass liquidation. Shout out to Felix. Bro, let's get it. Were you potentially trading the SFP? Let me know. Let me know how you did that, bro. Congratulations, and shout out to Felix. Let's go. We're going to throw some money for Felix, baby. Let's go. I thought these were all 20s. These are not all 20s. So shout out to Felix. Let's go. I don't know how much this is. But shout out to you, bro. Congrats on your gains. Shout out to Felix. Drop a frog in the chat for Felix. Let's go. Bing bong. Shout out to you, bro. Woo! Shout out to Felix. Let's go. Pat yourself on the back, bro. Pat yourself on the back. All right, let's see. Ando. Ooh, maybe we'll take a look at Ando today. I'm writing some down on the side here. We'll see if we can get to them. I'd like to take a look at Ando with you guys as well. Oh, thank you, Jesse, reminding me for the alts. Where is Rob the Crypto Snobber? Oh, there we go. Kembro did the alts. Let's go. Unless he's just like backing up Rob, putting it in there a couple extra times. Let's see. Bada boom. So what do we got? We got, I pinned the wrong dang chat. And now I'm looking for them, scrolling up. And, oh, there we go. Shout out to Chemistry Pro. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm, like, scrolling up trying to find them, and he's, like, spamming them in the bottom of the chat. But let's see here. Okay, so we got Sui, Caspa, H-Bar, Peak, and Desync. Okay. That's actually, I like that list. Bada boom, bada bing. Rob went to bed. Shout out to Chemistry Pro, and shout out to Rob. Rob is, I believe where he's at is crazy hours. Shout out to Rob. He's always shows up, though. We appreciate you guys so much. And Kembro, always picking up the alt list, or Darren, or Tyler. We appreciate you guys so much. Rob had work. Shout out to Jesse. Let's go. All right, let's continue on here. Hater Gang. Shout out to Derelict dropping those totals in the chat. I like totals. All right, let's see here. So let's go. We'll take a look at Sui next. Sweep. Let's see here. All right. Let's take a look. Is this our Sui chart? I don't believe it is. Where is it? That's the Coinbase chart. There it is. Okay. So here we are on Sui. Getting a bounce like all the other. Basically like everything else. But yeah, I'm trying to get bearings of what we were looking for here. So these are the two key levels of resistance. Golden Pocket didn't make the lower high. 786 kind of rejected that, maybe on a higher time frame. Yeah, 786 kind of wound up being that lower high situation for a break of structure to the downside, right? Again, looking at this retracement from the high to the low, these are your high probability areas to put in a lower high. Just to kind of spit that sauce here, guys. When you are in a trend like this and you get a pullback and you have money flow coming out, you're anticipating potential lower highs for continuations down. You simply pull your Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low. I did not expect that to come in perfectly like that, but that's the two levels, or you can look at it as a zone, however you prefer. This is the area where that lower high is likely to come in at. And we saw that happen here with SUI. I almost said Solana. You get pulled from the high to the low, price comes up, you either put the lower high in here or the lower high in here. Once you flip the 786, that's always the last level where you're looking at for that lower high or higher low, depending on what you're looking at. But once you flip that macro 786 or that full 786 level, that's where you can look for a continuation to the upside. But what happens? You swing fail it, and then you get the lower high and a break of structure to the downside. And that, again, Fibonacci retracements is what you're looking for to continue the trend. In order to continue the trend, you have to break the lows, right, or break structure to the downside. Now, what happened here, right? Let me get rid of some of these levels, right? I'll just get rid of the zone that we rejected just to clean up the chart a bit. So let me see. Okay, so we had the golden pocket, the 786. That gave us a significant bounce into that 786 before continuing the downtrend. But what happened here, right? So these are old. I'll get rid of these. Simply, price comes down to our key level, which is the value area low of that range. Once you get stuck, this will change your life. The volume profiles will change your life, guys. There's no indicator that'll just make you money, tell you when to buy, tell you when to sell. If it existed, I would literally just be laying on a beach and letting the algo go and just make me money on repeat. If it was that easy, everybody would do that. No one would have a job. But if you know what you're looking for, it could almost feel like that, right? Volume profiles will give you that confidence. Break down below the high. Once you can't get back above this, you know the next likely place for price to go. Rejection, you're going to the POC. If you can't get above that high, you look for that continuation down through your range to where? The value area low. Where are we getting the bounce from? Right from that value area low. Now, key level of support above right now. This is pretty simple analysis at this point. And this is like low key, kind of a wonky range, but you could see how accurate it is. Let me get rid of this anchored VWAP. So, your key level right now, at this point, you're getting above your POC of the range. Value area high sitting here at 482. That's your key level of support, right? Resistance, right? Once you get above here, sure, you can look for potential short positions, as this could be considered overvalued if you get confirmations. But if you get no confirmations up here, could take off. And, looking at Market Cipher B, yeah, you don't have the bullish divergences. I really would have liked to see that. Now, I do like this bounce. I do like the bounce, but the money flow is just not there. The money flow is not there. The divergences aren't there. If we take a look at the daily, it's like not even that, right? Some of the altcoins, some of the stuff that we're going to look at in a minute do have some nice divergences on the higher time frames, but money flow continuing out here. 4-hour money flow in the red. I mean, at this point, you go from the low to the POC. You could look for the high to be your next. This is just generally going to be your next target. If we pull from our local high to our low here, I would look at this as some kind of a zone, right? Because if we're going to look, here's the thing. If we're going to look for that continuation of the downtrend, what happens? You put in the high, you put in the low, your lower high comes in on that 786 that we just looked at, you break structure to the downside. If we're going to continue a downtrend, that lower high may come in either at the golden pocket to break structure to the downside or the 786 to break structure to the downside. In this scenario, it came in on the 786, right? And again, on a higher time frame, we wicked above this and closed below it. Here, it looks like we broke it, but came into the 786 here, broke above the golden pocket, went to the 786. That was the lower high for the continuation down. Break structure to the downside. If we're going to put in another lower high, this would be the zone to put it in at. This would be, let me get rid of this. This would be the first level. That would be a possibility of putting in that lower high. If you reject the golden pocket, value area high confluence. Let me get rid of some of these brushes just to clean things up a bit. Let me grab an anchored VWAP here real quick. Hitting that anchored VWAP. This one's probably confluent with that golden pocket if I had to guess. No, kind of just sitting right there. This is, the real zone is really sitting between the value area high and the 786. This is a pretty large zone. I typically break these up into separate areas. But technically, between 482 and 504 is that big zone of resistance. But I would break it down more towards the golden pocket value area high, which is more towards 490 to 482. Once you break above that golden pocket, like you're not getting bearish confirmations here, you flip that golden pocket to support. Next level to expect would be that 786 at 503. So we'll see if we can make it up there, and then really got to get above that in order to call for higher prices. Because again, if we're going to put in a lower high, continue our downtrend, it could be likely to happen in here, right? Looking for that next break of structure to the downside. But those are the key levels. I wish we had the 4-hour bull div. I wish I could sit here and say, dang, that 4-hour bull div looks nice. But it's not there. It's just not there. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this is just a flush so we can get that move back to the upside. 45-minute money flow coming up. Let's check that 12-hour VWAP. Not really getting the green dot just yet. 8-hour looking for the green dot. 30-minute money flow coming up. So if you're going to see that continuation up into this next zone, all right, if you're going to see this hold of the POC into the golden pocket and potentially into the 786, again, who knows? You have to look for the confirmations for that continuation down. But if we're going to get that continuation up, 30-minute money flow crossing into the green with our 8-hour green dot printing could be the next thing to give you a bigger push up. But again, money flow is just kind of not looking great here. So it's nice to see the bounce, and I hope this is the bottom. But I would really like to see a lot of this money flow on the 4-hour, the 8-hour, even the 5-hour. Like, we would like to see this coming into the green, not crossing over into the red. This indicates a continuation down. Bounces to the upside, sure, but really just to put in lower highs and continue down. And this is like a key to why we were looking for the rejection here, right? A lot of people see this bounce. And oftentimes, guys, I have to say, when I come up here and I talk about these bearish targets, right, for potential lower highs and continuations down, people don't like to hear this, right? Like, people don't want to hear that when they're investing in crypto. They just want to hear, tell me it's going up only. But you're never going to get that here, right? I'm going to give you, we looked at this level as a very key level of resistance to potentially continue us down to some of those lower targets. People don't like that. But I'm going to give you raw information and the highest probability outcome. That's all you're going to get on this channel. And am I going to be right 100% of the time? No. Are we right more often than we're wrong? Absolutely. But I'm never going to sit up here and say, like, guys, we're pumping. This is going to bring us to the moon. This is what all retail thinks, right? They get excited on these pumps to the upside. But by the time they're getting excited, we are already looking to reverse that thing back to the downside, whether it's on a massive new all-time high or a retracement, right? And I show you guys how to find these levels on the chart for free every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So smash that dang like button. Smash the dang like button, Mafia. Let's do it. 1,000 likes, $150 in Solana. Let's go. Let's see that XRP. Shout out to Ken. Let's go ahead and jump in there. Take a look at XRP. I do want to jump back over to Solana. Actually, let's do Solana really quickly because I do want to talk about that key level, guys. Solana, too. Said we didn't want to see it, but it was in the cards here. If we wound up losing these lows, next key level of support was sitting here at the golden pocket value area high. Confluence sitting at about $170. We got that drop. Where are we getting the bounce from? Right from that golden pocket, or the top of that golden pocket, rather. Now, when we take a look at the 4-hour, technically you have some kind of an exaggerated bull div here, right? This means equal highs, or I'm sorry, equal lows on your momentum waves with lower lows on price. Again, I would really like to see money flow coming up here, typically for big moves to the upside. You want to see money flow you want to see those bull divs, right, if you had it, right? Again, this is an exaggerated bull div. In my opinion, it's not as strong as a regular bull div. I don't even know why they call it exaggerated. It's kind of like a lackluster bull div. But I like to see those sharp angles showing that momentum is coming up as price action pushes down. This shows a discrepancy between your price and your momentum. That's what causes the correction of the upside. But, if we had a real bull div here, like a strong bull div, I would still really want to see money flow had spent a lot of time in the red here, and then you get that bull div and money flow is just starting to cross over into the green. You want to see that bull div with the money flow just starting to cross over into the green. That gives me a lot of confidence that you're going to get a big move up. We just don't have that here on Solana. It doesn't mean it can't happen. We've come down to key support. We do have the exaggerated bull div, but again, we just don't have everything pointing towards a massive move. Now, if we do get a continuation up from here, we did hit key support. We could get a bounce here. You do have that 4-hour green dot. You do have your 15-minute money flow about to cross over into the green, so very similar to Bitcoin. If you get that crossover into the green and you do get the continuation of that trend to the upside, you could continue up locally if we did see that happen. Major levels I would be watching here on Solana. Golden pocket here starting at about 202, 786 at about 211. This is a big zone to be looking for big resistance, right? Let me just grab this real quick. So that's kind of if you're going to continue that downtrend in the long term, right, that could be a big level to watch, right? If you're just going to go ahead and continue that trend, right? It's a little sloppily drawn here, but you could kind of, boom, lower high continuation down. In which case, I'm going to go over the lower targets in a second. But, if we did get that, you still have a decent bit up to come, right? Like, another 16% to the upside if you reject this golden pocket, 786. However, you do want to keep an eye on some of these local levels as well. You could pull it from this lower high, right? Or even potentially the aggressive move to the downside, which is kind of what we're bouncing off of right now. From the high to the low, getting some turbulence on that golden pocket. right? But I'm just going to give you guys the bigger levels. You can pull these lower levels on the chart, lower time frame levels if you want to take a look at like the more local price action. But in the grand scheme of things, really what I'd be looking at, that's your full Fibonacci retracement, right? So if that big bounce does come in, I'd be very, very, very cautious here. So there you go. If we pull, let me just see something here. Let's pull. Just want to see this volume profile real quick. This local profile. Yeah, at that point, yeah. I would be looking at the bigger levels. We'll see. Now, if we continue down, whether we come up and put in the lower high, whether we reject one of these local Fibonacci retracement levels, I will say losing that golden pocket would very likely call for that POC /786 retracement. Once you lose that golden pocket, you're going to be looking down towards that 786 retracement. That is sitting right on the POC. And if you lose that golden pocket, you're also losing the value area high. When you lose the value area high, you're looking for the next highest probability area for price to go to be the POC of the range. And then if you lose the golden pocket, you're looking for the 786. And both of those are sitting right here. So multiple reasons if we lose this golden pocket to be looking down towards. I don't want to say it. Somebody say it. Somebody else say it. Could be sitting down, I don't know, maybe towards like somewhere over here. But yeah, where's Dr. MTG? Come on, save me, bro. Save me. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Let's see. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said, please ignore me. I'm just copying Frankie's watch list coins for... I'm just watching Frankie's watch list coin for CoinLol. Having your charts on my TradingView account is magic. Thank you. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. He is in the premium Discord where I do share my actual TradingView charts where you can literally import my charts into your TradingView, right? So you get my exact Bitcoin chart with all my folders and my exact levels as I've drawn them. You can just import them and you literally get access to my full chart. So shout out to Blockchain Domain. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. I'm glad you're finding value in that, bro. Super chats. Shout out. I thought Tony D said super charts. Let's see here. Oh yeah, super chats. Shout out to Tony D said I was on the phone. Can you please read my post in the free Discord? Shout out to Tony D. Yes, I will try to take a look at that in just a second. Shout out to Caroline said, Tima is holding on well. VC Capital is investing $2 million as well. Super bullish. Shout out to Caroline. Yeah, we could try to take a look at Tima if we have time at the end of the stream. Let's see. Okay, I think we're caught up on Super Chat. Shout out to everybody sending Super Chats. I appreciate you. And if you don't send Super Chats, guys, you don't have to send Super Chats. Just know that smashing that like button is the easiest and most free way to help support this channel. It is literally so much more helpful than you could possibly think. Just clicking that little button. It's right there. It's like right underneath the window. Just click that like. Infinitely helps the YouTube channel. So let's see. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into, I wanted to take a quick look at Solana first. Let's jump into XRP real quick because XRP actually doesn't look that bad, guys. As we were looking at XRP on Friday, you guys know there were kind of two contexts here. Let me clean up the chart for you. Let me just hide this, right? So this is our overall range, right? This is the macro range. And again, a lot of people, you know, this is just consolidation, right? You could even potentially look at this as bullish consolidation, right? It's kind of like a bull pennant type situation here, right? Bada boom. And we're at key resistance here, right? And if I pull up let me pull up the Fibonacci retracements right from the high to the low here. We're tapping that golden pocket, guys. This is the last zone of support for XRP before we potentially get another push up to our next key levels, which are going to be sitting. Let me pull the. Let me just pull this fib extension real quick. Boom, right? So we're hitting our golden pocket, right? We're just kind of bing-bonging sideways here. Went from the value area high, couldn't get back above. Price very likely goes where? Well, would you look at that, right? POC of the range. Then you get a move from the POC, back to the high, back to the POC, and we kind of just coil up here. And now, you know, this golden pocket is really, you know, this is active. We already got the 786 retracement. If we can get out of this value area high and flip this 786, guys, I do think the next target for XRP locally is going to be between about 314 up to about 332 at that all-time high, right? So, you know, we break out of here, flip that 786. I'd be looking for that all-time high. Not new all-time high, but that actual previous all-time high. But once we get above that all-time high, that's the nice thing is like that's kind of the last thing in the way here before we come into some of these retracement levels. We have a local extension level, at 352. Get above that, we could start to see that $4-ish, right? 418 to 453 XRP. We are very close to potentially seeing that. right? Now, XRP doesn't look that bad, right? Number one, it's kind of like in a bullish consolidation pattern. There's not much in the way here holding us back from those all-time highs. And if we turn off some of these levels, right, we pull up our local levels. You guys know these are the local levels we've been looking at on XRP. Like we're just at the value area high, right? We went from the low, get above the low, go to the POC. Annoying, confusing journey to that value area high, right? That POC sometimes gives you a decent bit of turbulence. Get above the low. Next likely place for price to go is the POC. Once you get above that POC, you look for the value area high for a full rotation of value. At this point, all you got to do is get above that golden pocket, 786. And again, you're off to that next level, right? Which again would be the all-time high / new all-time highs, right? All-time high sitting right here, new all-time high. Technical local level, 352. Get above that. Looking at the $4 range. Looking at the $4 range for XRP. Now, taking a look at Market Cipher. Let's go ahead and hide some of this stuff and just take a look at Market Cipher in terms of the larger profile, right? Let's take a look here, right? Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, daily red dot potentially incoming. I mean, you're at support here. I mean, you're at resistance here. Yeah, 4-hour money flow in the red. I will just say from a raw price action perspective, this doesn't look bad. The way XRP likes to move, guys, is explosive move up, pennant out. Explosive move up, coil up, boom. Coil up, boom. Right? This is always how XRP likes to move. Anytime it gets a big move, I mean, it really is just these aggressive moves up with the coming to a higher time frame. So XRP obviously went sideways for like 17 years. But like even back here in 2017, big move up, coil up, boom, coil up, boom, right? So it does like to kind of do these, move up, coil, move up, coil, move up, coil, which isn't uncommon on other coins as well. But like XRP just likes to do it extremely dramatically, like very explicitly, if you will. So we'll see. Is that bullish consolidation before the big rip up? We'll see what happens. I mean, it does look not too shabby, I will say. Now, again, do you have that 4-hour money flow in the red? Yes. 4-hour money flow, I don't love that. I don't love that, to be quite honest with you. You're at resistance, but hopefully just the traditional bullish-looking price action can overpower the money flow here and give us the push up. But again, with everything else looking the way it does, Ethereum holding the lows, like maybe we can see it. Maybe we can see it. Take a look at that 3-day green dot confirmed. And I will say this, pulling up our retracement, not that one. Let's pull up this retracement with our, right? So like these being our next targets, right? I'll just mark out this whole extension zone. I will say this, right? That 3-day with our money flow in the green. This is something we were looking at recently before we just got the random red dot to step on us here, right? Green dot, immediate red dot. This last green dot did look like we could potentially put in a bearish divergence on XRP, meaning we would have to break the highs to put in that bearish divergence. So using that bearish signal to potentially front run our next move into higher prices. So now we have another green dot confirmed. If we could stay above that 0 line with the VWAP and this money flow can stay in the green, we may still be able to see something like that. Now, I'm not saying if you come up here and put the bear div in, we have to come back down. But, we're just trying to front run that break of structure to the upside. So, again, XRP is holding up pretty good right now. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens, right? Green dot on the 12-hour. Let's check that 45-minute money flow. Yeah, we can see that 45-minute money flow come up. 1 hour. Ugh. Kind of mixed signals here, to be honest. But in general, even if we got a bigger move down, right? You're at resistance, key level to break, 786, 285. You break that, I'm looking up towards the, 314 to 352 range. If we can't get above this and we just get the rejection back into the range, you're looking at the POC at $1.92, and then you're losing that. If you'd lose it, you could look down to $1.60 for the value area low. I would not really want to see that value area low. That would be brutal. Like, just break out here, XRP. Come on, just do it, man. Just do it. 8-hour green dot is printing, and your 30-minute money flow is kind of wonked out here. So, you do have some significant green dots on some higher time frames, but I'd really like to see the money flow a little bit more confluent here. It's just kind of coming out. So we'll see what happens. But just from an overall perspective here, guys, I know a lot of people are down on their altcoins. I know a lot of people are feeling just to show you guys, like, this is consolidation. Doesn't mean you can't break down to the value area low, but we're just basically going sideways here. XRP had a massive, 500% rip to the upside. These little pullbacks are, not bad, right? Can't go up forever in a straight line. Sometimes you have to cool off, accumulate, or potentially even pull back a little bit. But, in the long term, you're still within this larger range. Hopefully we don't have to come back down to the value area low. All right, let's see. Shout out to Golden. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said gifting memberships is way better than super chats because many people benefit. Hashtag givers gain ++. Shout out to Golden. Absolutely right. If you guys don't know Golden has, we could probably find the number. Golden has gifted, thousands of memberships here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. He's like one of our biggest supporters of the CandleMafia, and he's an absolute legend. He's an absolute legend. Shout out to Golden, bro. We appreciate everything you do, and he's 100% right. Memberships benefit everybody, and sometimes it starts a chain reaction. But shout out to Golden. Welcome in, bro, if you did just get here. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. Said, Golden, don't call me out like that. I'm poor, but I'm trying. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. You don't have to give memberships, guys. They are really expensive. They are kind of expensive to gift. I don't know. There you go. Well, shout out to Blockchain Domain. Doesn't look like you're going to have to gift memberships because Golden has got it. Shout out to Golden. Thank you so much for doing that. We got 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. I don't have my speakers on, so hopefully the sound effects are playing. But shout out to Golden. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships. Drop that golden emoji in the chat if you just got a membership and show our boys some love. We appreciate you so much, bro. I'm going to take a sip of that Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. You get a membership. Let's go. Oh, yeah, let's get it. Golden, you are a legend, bro. Unbelievable. Drop that golden emoji. Let's see that golden waterfall. Not the same as a shower, guys. It's totally different. Use that golden emoji. Show some love to our boy. Wick589, what is going on, bro? Welcome in. Dave Digital. Bing bong. Shout out to Dave. Welcome in. All right, let's continue on here, guys. Let's continue on. Drop those. That's not enough golden emojis. Spam them. Am I going to have to start spamming in here? I'm going to spam them. Tony D, don't ban me. Do I have, can I unlimited spam because it's my channel? Is that possible? Can I get kicked out? I think Tyler Durden might be able to ban me. There we go. Yo, let's go. Spams are allowed right now. God, I think I'm going to get kicked out of my own channel, guys. But let's continue on. All right, let's continue on here. So that's XRP. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully, we can get that push up. But just understand, we are at that resistance level, guys. We are at that resistance. People still getting memberships. Dang. Still just popping in with the memberships. Let's go. All right, let's take a look at our next altcoin. We took a look at Sui. Let's take a look at Caspa. Where is our Caspa chart? Haven't looked at Caspa in quite a while here. What are we at? Let's see. Oh, we got to go to our live stream chart. All right, let's take a look at Caspa. Mexi. That's got to be it, right? Okay, there we go. Interesting. Let me see something here real quick. All right, well, interesting. This is kind of interesting on Caspa. Caspa had gotten its rip to that value area low where we still have an untapped monthly level. So our key level of support, the first level did hold up right here, right? And I don't think we probably looked at Caspa since. Yeah, so we probably looked at Caspa since then, but did hold up at first with that value area low tap, back to the POC, back to the value area high. With a deviation above the range, back in, can't get back above, go to the POC. I'll be honest, this is interesting because you did come sweep these lows, which is kind of nice, right? You can SFP these lows. You actually did potentially, when you get that green dot here on the daily, if it does come in soon, you could have a bullish divergence. But I'll be honest with you, I would really like it to have come in. Yeah, I would have really liked it to come in on a key level, but it kind of didn't. It's kind of just coming in no man's land here. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I would really like to see that swing failure and that bullish divergence on the daily. And again, this isn't printing just yet. We need that green dot on the daily. But it could potentially be a bullish divergence there on the daily. Really would have liked it on more of a key level of support. I mean, I guess you did have a daily here. Mark that out real quick. That's not an MPOC. It is a daily horizontal. Boom, right? So you have your daily sitting at about 11 cents. You do have another daily down here. So this actually could extend this support level. Right? So this is still your macro support. Macro value area low, daily and monthly level. This is still your key support. So I would have really preferred to see a swing failure and a bullish divergence into this level. But maybe you hold this daily. I mean, you did get the SFP. I would be careful, though, just like on Ethereum. Like, how long do we see Ethereum dance above that $3,000 value area low, right? Bounce, 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 and then eventually we just get the fill, right? So very interesting that we front ran that level. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either, to be honest with you. 4 hour, you do have the bullish divergences, right? You do have the bull div here with the SFP of the, actually, no. Yeah, it was really just a high time frame SFP on the daily. Technically, you have it on the 10 hour, 8 hour. Other than that, you don't really have the low time frame SFP. But I will say this, right? Like, daily levels are key levels, whether it's a value area low or not. If you look at these locally with your kind of local volume profile here, yeah, I'll say this. You got your 4 hour bull div. Higher lows on your momentum waves. This is confirmed, right? Get above this POC. Could see a move up to about 12.5 cents. So I would look at this as your local levels. Value area high sitting at 12.50, right? Or basically 12.5 cents. And then you have your POC sitting here at about 11.119. And I would just be looking at, like, I obviously was not trading this, right? But if I saw this on a bullish divergence confirmation, right now we're looking for longs down here, I would probably be looking at this as a move into the POC and potentially the value area high. Can you make it to that macro value POC? I mean, it's technically in the cards, but I just don't love that this value area low is front ran. So, if you continue up, I would maybe look for a local move back up to the 12.5 cent value area high. But if that, if you don't wind up getting the big move up from here, key support just still sitting here between about 0.103 and 0.098, almost 10 cents, right? So if this, right, then we look for longs. But until then, right, it's a little too late for me to enter here personally. But, yeah, I would look to come up to that value area high that I just pulled up, right? And then if you break out of there, next major level sitting at about 13 cents, almost 14 cents at that macro POC. It's hard for me to say, like, let's see the full fill of this range, get above the POC, go to the high when you haven't filled the range in full to the low. But we have seen Bitcoin do that, right? Like, we've seen Bitcoin do that plenty of times where, let's come back over to our major actual Bitcoin chart here, right? We've seen Bitcoin do that, right? We've seen Bitcoin go front run the low and go all the way back up to the high. So it's not impossible. Same thing on Caspa. All right, so just because we didn't see that tap of the low, you could still run up to the high. But it just would have been a little bit better if we came up to that low, or came down to that low, rather. So we'll see. Locally, you could continue up, but I would just get that move down. Just know you have that key support down below, or macro support, I should say. All right, let's see. Let's see. Hope we see the local high. Shout out to Batu. Hopefully we do. I do think that's, again, with the 4 hour bull div, I do think it's probable. Again, that doesn't mean like long it to the high, right? We could be wrong. But Bitcoin continuing to try to push up here. Let's pull up our levels here. Let's take a look at that local range. All right, let's see if we can push into our next layout. We're approaching. We're trying to, right? We're trying to hold above that value area low. Come on, baby. Volume point of control at 94.970 is that next level. See if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it. Yo, Golden, you absolute savage. Shout out to Golden, baby. Let's get it. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships. I got to put on headphones or something. I can't even. And it's over. I just wanted to hear the noises, guys. I wanted to hear the sound effects. Everybody gets a dang membership. Drop that golden emoji in the chat. Another 50. What the heck is going on? Hang on. I got to put the headphones back on. I'm going to miss it again. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Dropping. What is the. Bro, what the. Did I miss them? Shout out to Golden, bro. Yo, hold on a second. Bro, Golden, you are You are out of control. Did you gift 200 memberships, dude? It shows that you gifted 200 memberships. Dude, shout out to Golden, bro. Unbelievable. Drop those golden emojis in the chat. And Bitcoin is pumping. Yo, Golden, did you just pump Bitcoin? Did you just pump Bitcoin, Golden? Let us know. Drop those golden emojis. Thank you, Blockchain Domain, for that super chat. Said Mark Dutch, I may be white now, but one day I'll be blue. And if I were green, I would die. But one day I'll be blue, and if I were green, I would die. If I was green, I would die. Shout out to Blockchain Domain, bro. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. And shout out to Mark Dutch. And the Blockchain Domain, hopefully you're going to be green soon. You might be green, bro. I think like everybody just got a membership. Unbelievable. Golden is a boss. I think that's an understatement. Shout out to Blackout. Yeah, Golden is definitely a boss, bro. That is crazy. Golden, thank you, bro. You are insane. You are absolutely insane. Yeah, blue. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Only Tyler Durden is blue. Well, actually, that's not true. But shout out to Tyler Durden. Or Bluey. Yo, shout out to Tyler. Let's see. Golden just out there pumping the markets and pumping the memberships, guys. Shout out to anybody who just got a membership. Let's go. Let's see how to get one. Shout out to Daniel. You got to make sure your gifting settings are on YouTube. It's a YouTube setting. You have to enable gifting, and it'll allow you to receive gifted memberships from people like Golden or many other community members that like to gift the memberships. Unbelievable. Yo, I think people are coming into the stream and just instantly getting memberships. Oh, my God. Insane. It is random, by the way. If you just have your settings on, it gives you a possibility of getting it, but it gets random. They just gift them, and random people get them. Yo, shout out to Jesse. Says, yo, Golden. Hashtag Givers Gain. Shout out to Jesse. Let's go. And shout out to Crypto Billy. Hashtag Givers Gain. Let's go. Yo, unbelievable. You guys are crazy. I appreciate you guys so much. And Bitcoin is pumping. I think, Golden, did you proud to be, yo, shout out to Golden Child. You are the golden child, bro. Not the one that you said. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Golden and Blockchain Domain and Jesse, guys. I appreciate you so much. We got H-bar, Peak, and Desync. Let's take a look at Peak real quick. Yeah, let's take a look at Peak here. Let's see. Where's our peak chart? Where is our peak chart? I think it's a MACD chart. No. There it is. Okay. So take a look at peak here. Let's go. So obviously we had, let me come down to a more tangible time frame here. Right? We had our local volume profile up to the high, got a rejection, back down to the low, lost that range, and we wiggled our way down here. Actually, hang on a sec, guys. I think we have a different. No, it's the same chart. I thought I had a slightly updated chart for peak. Huh. I guess not. All right, so we'll just take a look at, no, not close tab. All right, so let's take a look here, right? So we got that rip down. I actually might just redo this chart. I mean, these are really the only supports that we had, right? So this is the chart that we were looking at on Friday. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Hoodie. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, we super chatting because we want to support the GOAT. Yo, shout out to Hoodie, baby. I appreciate you so much, bro. Thank you. And I can like this. And I think other people can comment on it. I don't think I can comment. I wish I could. But I can like it. And I liked it, bro. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you guys to the end of the world. I don't even know if that makes sense. But I appreciate you guys genuinely more than you could possibly imagine. You guys probably think I just say that. I don't say that. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you guys. I want to be able to do what I love every single day without you guys. I'm super blessed to be here. Let's see. Thoughts on ADA for this year? Shout out to Connor. Maybe we could try to take a look at Cardano if we have a chance, if we have some extra time. I'm going to fly through this peak TA. Very simply put, guys. We had our pull from the high, from the low, to the high. We came down to that golden pocket, couldn't hold it, went for that 786, got a little bounce, and we kind of just bing-bonged around here. Our first support zone was the daily naked point of control, come down to a lower time frame, right? Daily naked point of control POC. We came down to that zone, got a little bounce, got accepted back into the range, and we just went down to the low. This is really the only kind of tangible support that we had down below. So this range is technically in play, right? Just in general, right? Let me get rid of the daily naked point of control because that is tapped now, and we'll just look at it like this, right? So, we were above that POC. Locally, peak to about 46 cents, which is not far away at all, is technically that next key level of support. So, I would be careful if we kind of wiggle up here, come up here. Like, I would be careful on peak. This is resistance, but for the most part, it's kind of weird price action, to be honest. Like, we got our move into our Fibonacci extensions. I'm actually going to get rid of some of this stuff and try to get some new context here. Let's pull this. I like this range, right? We didn't melt right through it, but you could see we did get some reactions. Let's go high, POC, value area low. Right? So we got back into the range, POC, back to the low, lost the low, and you can see that bearish retest on the value. Guys, I'm telling you, the volume profiles are infinitely goated. Really is crazy. I don't know a better way to view the market. So I will say this, right? Like, let's pull some fibs here as well. So what's the full fib from the low to the high give us? Yeah, so this is definitely a good area to bounce off of. If we lose this, I'm not going to like that. I'm not going to like that. If we lose that, not a whole lot of volume until you come down to the 786 at about 30 cents. Nobody wants to see that. But we are bouncing off the golden pocket. So really the way I would look at this, if you break out of this range, your key levels to the upside is going to be the value area low at 50 cents. And I would probably look at this as a zone because the POC is very close to the value area low. So if we get out of here, we flip that POC to support, we could potentially see that move into the value area high. But this is definitely going to be resistance, in my opinion. Let's pull that retracement from the high to the low. Okay, so that is pretty far away. Let's take a look at the local. Yeah, I mean, I would probably really like, to be quite honest, big levels of resistance on peak between 52 and 49 cents. If you can get back up to the value area high, probably look for this local fib, golden pocket, value area high. All right, so these are really the next levels. If you can get out of here, hold this POC at support, flip the value area high to support, this is your next key target. Once you get above that, I'd look to push into about 59 to 56 cents. Very simply put. If you come up here and you can't break out, look to go back down to the POC, back down to the value area low. This is key support. If we lose this, you have some support, but I would really not like to see that, right? Most of our volume's up here. The next highest volume node, really not until 27 cents. Hopefully we don't have to see that. But up here at about 30 cents is like, this is, it's really not that big of a low volume gap, to be honest. Like, you do have a lot of spikes. Yeah, like right here would be a key level. I'll mark out some of these high volume nodes. Like this would be, I'll just label this HVN. Right, and then that 786 / high volume node is going to be key. So these are all the levels I would be looking at on peak. Boom. Right, so you really want to hold that golden pocket. If you don't, probably looking at about 35 cents. Lose that. It's a pretty nice node here. But if you lose that, like, next significant level would be the 786. Because you lose that golden pocket, eventually you're going to look for that 786 retracement sitting at about 30 cents. But right now, locally, I would just watch this local volume profile. Below the low, this is an undervalued asset. Get above there, look to go to the POC, and then the value area high. That's kind of the next kind of roadmap for peak that I would be looking at. Take a look at the daily. Green dot looking to print. Now, massive wick here. This is a bullish wick, right? In my personal opinion, this is a bullish wick. Got that fresh daily candle. We'll see if we can get the push up. See if that green dot prints. If it does, I would look for first a move into here. Get above that. I'd look for a move in there. But I would definitely be careful on these levels of resistance. So there you go. All right, let's see. Tony D says, please read my post on Discord. Shout out to Tony D. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about that. Let me go ahead and let me see if I can pull that up. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's see here. Announcements. See what Tony D's got to say. Is he going to rickroll me? Please don't rickroll me. The MEXC event. Shout out to MEXC, guys. I'll cover this again in tomorrow's live stream. come check this out in the free Discord. If you're in there, come check the announcements. This MEXC event is actually really cool. There's a lot of really cool rewards. If you like MEXC, I'll just read through it. If you like MEXC or want to sign up and would like to support the channel, they have an event running that lets you learn. And I'm going to walk through this. I'll pull up the actual page tomorrow and actually go through like the rewards and stuff. But you can earn insane prices up to $1,000 Apple gift card. On top of that, the deposits can earn you up to 20% cash back on through future bonuses, right? Which is basically like free money to trade with. So you can register through our affiliate link using the referral code MEXC-CandleMafia. If you actively trade during this event, volume milestones outlined in the event page will earn you rewards. So depending on how much you trade, how much volume you're trading, you can get bigger and bigger rewards. It's super cool, but I will come back, and I'll go over this a little bit more tomorrow. I'll run through the page with you guys so you can see exactly what we're doing or exactly what you can win and what it takes, how much volume it takes to win certain stuff. So I'll go over that. Thank you for reminding me about that, Tony, guys. So go check that out. But let's see if we can fill out our rest of our altcoins here. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for the super chat. Said, gotta love Frankie's new chair. Shout out to Jesse. Hey, you noticed, bro. You noticed the new chair. Kind of looks like the old one, though, right? Shout out to Jesse. But let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so Caspa, H-bar, Peak, and Desync. I'm going to run into H-bar here, guys, and we may just run out of time here, so I'm going to run over H-bar real quick. We'll do a speed tour on H-bar here. There we go. H-bar on Bybit. Nope. H-bar on Coinbase? Where's my H-bar chart? Dang it. I guess do we not have an H-bar chart? We looked at H-bar recently. Bear with me here, guys. There it is. Okay, so let's take a look here. This kind of looks similar to XRP, to be quite honest with you, right? Like, again, a lot of people are like, oh my God, my H-bar is getting wrecked. Like, you had a massive move up of 849%. Pretty wild, right? So these little pullbacks, right? This is just consolidation. This is sideways price action, right? This is not H-bar getting wrecked, right? Like, this is why I have a hard time when people say, like, oh my God, I'm getting wrecked on my, X coin, right? I come look at the coin and I'm like, you're only getting wrecked, right? Because you came in at the wrong time, right? Like, H-bar is not getting cooked right now. It is going sideways. So if you're feeling scared out there, either you bought up here, which is okay. Don't feel bad. It's all right. Everybody buys top sometimes. But, there's nothing really like crazy bearish happening here, right? We're simply going sideways. So take a look at the 10-hour. Let's see, 16-hour. Yeah, money flow in the red here. It's kind of looking the same as everything else, to be quite honest with you. 2-day green dot, not really that close. Daily green dot could be incoming soon. It's not that close, to be quite honest with you. But the key levels remain exactly the same here on H-bar. This is like, again, the same thing we've been looking at. Like, we've just been going sideways. Key levels remain exactly the same. Pulled from the high to the low on your fib levels. You do have your golden pocket, right? So if you get above that PLC, value area high 786. This is the next key level of resistance, sitting at about 35 to 36 cents. Get above there. That's where we look at to go into the extension levels, sitting at about 42 to 49 cents, right? That's kind of the next extension to the upside. But, this is your next key level of support. And just like on Ethereum, guys, I'm not interested here, right? I'd only be really interested. And again, like, could you find local entries here? Yes. But for the most part, right, like the higher probability areas to look for trades down here between 24 and 21 cents. And for shorts, I'd be looking up towards the value area high 786, sitting here at about 39 cents, right? 39 to 40 cents, I'd say. So, if we come down here, this is where we could look for longs. Taking a look at the daily, money flow still coming out. It's kind of hard to read market cipher right now, to be quite honest. A little bit of a interesting situation. But, you do technically have some bullish divergences. Your 4-hour, no bullish divergence. You do have your green dots. So, yeah, things just going sideways. Key resistance still sitting up here at 36. I would call it between 35 and 36 cents. And then key levels of support between about 24 and 21 cents. Other than that, there's not much to take away from this until we come on in here, assess the situation, look for longs, or come up here, assess the situation, look for shorts, right? If I hide our bigger range here, let me go ahead and put that in a folder, right? This is pulled from previous price action. This volume profile is pulled from all the way back here. So if we hide those levels and we pull up our local profile, this can give you an opportunity to look for local trade entries, right? Because if you don't want to wait, if you don't think we're going to come back down to that macro golden pocket, right, value area low at 24 to 21 cents, right? You could look at some local entries here. Whoops. Between the value area high and the value area low. And I'll mark out these levels so you guys can get this exact range on your chart. Value area low sitting at 26 cents, POC sitting at 29 cents, and your value area high sitting at 32 cents. So, again, like you're at the value area low, got the bounce here into your POC, back down to the low. If we had some really nice 4-hour bullish divergences, which again, you could maybe consider that an exaggerated bull div. Let's check Lux Algo really quickly. Yeah, you do have a little bull div here on Lux Algo. But again, let's check the RSI real quick. Yeah, you do have slight bullish divergences on your RSI. So, I mean, hey, for what it's worth, you got your 4-hour bull divs here. It's not on Market Cipher, but you do have them on some indicators. Lower lows on your price action as you deviate below your volume profile. Right? We'll just pretend that, this is technically an exaggerated bull div. Money flow still saying that the continuation to the downside could be likely. But that 4-hour bull div plays out. Next key level to the upside is going to be about 29 cents. Flip that POC. Look for that move up to the value area high at 32 cents. But again, I'd be careful of those lower highs coming in. If you pull those levels, I'll get them on the chart for you so you can mark them down and be aware of them. First major level of resistance. Right here. 786 golden pocket between 28 and 29 cents. Golden pocket does start that resistance technically, but this would be a pretty big zone to watch. I'm just going to highlight it because that is technically the level that you could look for if you're going to get the local retracement for the lower high and a continuation down. This is definitely a high probability area to look for some severe turbulence. Once you get above that POC, look for that push into that value area high. Let me take these extensions off real quick, right? And then, we don't really, this is the full Fibonacci retracement. I'm going to take this off to clean up the chart. But, in the grand scheme of the volume profile, this is what I would look at, right? If I were long, which I'm not, on H-bar down here, at this point, if I were looking, say, looking for the swing failure pattern of this wick or something like that, 4-hour bull div, whatever I was looking for to enter. Again, I didn't take this trade. But if I were looking at this, right, I'd probably TP1 at this golden pocket. Look for that POC, maybe TP again, and then I would probably be stop loss to break even, let the rest of that play out. If it plays out, great. If it stops me out, I get stopped out in profit. But that's kind of the roadmap based off the volume profiles of what I would look for. You just got to be real careful in this zone of resistance. Get above that POC, though. You could potentially push up towards the high. Shout out to Golden. Golden's new chair. Shout out to Golden's new chair. Said, "Dear Frankie, I heard you finally got a new chair. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you and your new chair. You finally did it. I'm so proud of you. Shout out to Golden's new chair. If you guys don't know, the new chair that I was supposed to pick up was picked up by Golden. He picked him up in a private jet. Picked her up in a private jet. Brought her to Greece. Brought her to Italy. And it's just like, it was so heartbreaking to me. It was so heartbreaking to me. But I'm glad we were able to come to a. I'm glad we're happy for each other. And I'm happy for you, Golden's new chair. I'm glad that I'm sure Golden's showing you a great life. And I could tell by the pictures in the Discord that he sent of you on the private jet and hanging out with everybody. I know it's probably a great lavish life. So shout out to Golden's new chair and shout out to Golden for showing so much support to the channel. I appreciate you so much. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for today's live stream. We got a little lost here. We're at 2 hours. Spent a little time on Bitcoin as we were getting that move. Let me do one last check-in on Bitcoin. So, yeah, we came into that 786. We'll see if we can get that move back above that POC and a move back up to the local highs, guys. But those are all my thoughts on Bitcoin, high time frame, low time frame, my thoughts on the altcoins. I'm glad to see Solana and Ethereum coming down to those next key levels of support. Pray for Bitcoin. Hope this is the bottom, guys. Hopefully, we don't have to see the break of that lower range or that value area low at about 89,909. Once we start getting down to that daily at 87, start losing that. That's where things get a little bit sketchy. So hopefully we can hold up here. Hopefully the long can continue to pay us out here. But shout out to the premium Discord. Not a bad time to start. Not a bad way to start off the week with that nice little scalp long. When Elena Garcia. Shout out to Dark Crash. It's just like a scammer, a scam commenter. Shout out to Dark Crash. If you don't know who Elena Garcia is, it's like the scam comments on YouTube. Like, all I did was sign up for Elena Garcia's trading group, and I make $100,000 every 7 minutes. It's so easy. Shout out to Dark Crash. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm following the chair saga. Yeah, J Violet, the chair saga is probably going to continue. But thank you guys all so much for sticking around till the end of the stream. Smash that like button on your way out. I don't know what we're at right now. If we're anywhere near 1,000, run it up because we'll give away $150 in Solana on Friday. But with all that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pray for Bitcoin. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Slyman? I think Slyman wanted to see dogs here as the first comment I saw, so let's get a quick look here. Now, I think this is a meme coin. Let's see, $218 million market cap, and this thing is getting slammed to the ground here. Now, this is something that you could say, like, oh my God, my alts are bleeding. This is what you would be looking at as a bearish situation, not after you get like a big move up and a small move down. Like, this is what people are freaking out about, like, on a lot of altcoins. And again, I'm not saying things can't go bearish, obviously, if you guys watch the stream. But, you know, like, this is what people are freaking out about on the bigger altcoins. Like, it's just like, you get in here, that's going to be painful. But I will say, this thing is getting brutalized right now. So I will just give you some key levels here. Big loss of this local volume profile. I mean, you are just, from at least on this chart, you're making new lows. If you do continue up, now again, if this is, I assume this is a meme coin. I will just say, right, like, this is rough. Like, meme coins typically get hit the hardest when, like, you see alts bleed. Meme coins are the ones that get hit the hardest, right? This is why, you know, for me personally, I like to put my capital into, like, you know, utility coins or just things that have, you know, AI, you know, whatever it is, something with some kind of utility, because meme coins get absolutely hammered on the bad days. But I will just say, if you continue up, like, this is your level to get above right here, sitting between, call it, you know, 4373 to 4581, 4518. Get above this level, flip that 786 as support. You could fill that low volume gap back into your value area low, sitting at about 5124, where you have golden pocket confluence. So these are the levels I'd be looking at on dog. Shout out to Slyman. I'm going to make this quick and dirty. There you go. Little bonus level, 786 POC. Break above that, you're looking towards the value area high. You could screenshot these levels to get them on your chart. It's just a local fib, and then the full Fibonacci pulled from the local swing high to the low, confluent with these volume profile levels. And just notice this volume gap that starts here at about 465, I would say probably like 4796, could cause that quick move up to that value area low. As you know, quick moves up oftentimes lead to quick, or sorry, quick moves down oftentimes lead to quick moves up. But this is what I'd be looking at. Screenshot this, get this on your chart. But as far as moves to the downside, very hard to call because I can't find support below. You do have technical bullish divergences here on the 10 hour, so hopefully that can give you a continuation up. But again, if this is a meme coin, it is sometimes very hard to trade these from a technical perspective because sometimes the meme coins just don't respect the TA as much as we would like. But with all that being said, thank you guys all so much for being here. Golden's new chair said I could tell he got a new chair because We could see his face over the microphone. Shout out to Golden's new chair. You are too much, bro. Shout out to Golden. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to Mark Judge. Shout out to Wig589, K Diggity, because I can pump it, Ash, Jesse, and last but not least, Slyman. Hopefully that helped you out, bro. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor.